Hello, community. Yeah, I don't like that name. Okay, so first thing that I ask for you guys to do as a favor is drop a comment in the box down below and come up with a name for the group, community, whatever. That way we can vote on it and see which one is going to be like the best liked or something. I would definitely appreciate that. And we'll have a vote on whichever the name it's chosen that's everyone likes, and whoever came up with that name is going to be compensated with some gold or gems or whatever. I haven't decided yet, but let's do that. Anyways, my hair's a mess, as you can see, but today's video is going to be about Thief. We're going to go over a little bit about the mechanics behind Thief, where it sits currently in all three game modes, and then from there, my personal opinion on whether or not I believe Thief is a class that you should pick up as a first class or something you should play as an alt. First, before I get into that, I wanted to take a minute and ask everybody here to like the video and also subscribe if you haven't. I really do appreciate anyone who just wants to subscribe, support the channel and the channel's growth. It's free, you don't have to do it, but if not, I mean, it is what it is. I want to earn your subscription. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Thing we're going to talk about, I just pulled up the Guild Wars 2 wiki page here, and I want to explain a little bit about what Thief is overall in Guild Wars 2. Now, just as you see here, Thief utilizes stealth and shadow stepping to surprise and get close to their target. There is a few abilities thieves have that can use stealth. They don't always need a specific blast field in order to stealth. They're one of three, I believe, classes right now that currently, I believe all the medium classes have one form of stealth or another. And then also they have the ability to shadow step, which is virtually teleporting from one place to another to get close and surprise the target. Very, very similar to like Ninja, Rogue, if you've played World of Warcraft, things like that. What's really cool about Thief though is they have a unique ability called Steal. And that is their function skill, which is generally the F1, is what I mean by function skill. And that skill offers quite a little bit of utility here. So we just go here, they can use it as a bundle. In the game, the thief literally does not steal an item, right? But instead steals a bundle or a boon, probably is what it means. So you can steal a boon off of a targeted creature or a player. The stolen and the bundle is also an item that you steal. We can go into that, I can show the wiki page, and it'll give you some information as to what that bundle is. For example, if you steal on another thief, you get a second utility that is a stealth. Or if you steal on a mesmer, you get a pretty nice glob that gives you all boons. So each different class that you steal on gives you a unique bundle, I guess is what it's called. You can go ahead and click the bundle. Doesn't really give much. Anyways, you also have weapon skills with no recharge time. That's because they use initiative instead. Now, initiative is a resource that allows Thief to attack back-to-back and more quickly. Thief have one of the quickest attack patterns in all of Guild Wars 2. However, it does rely on utilizing your initiative quite well. You have to make sure to manage that, or else you're going to run out of initiative and you won't be able to use weapons. Now, initiative does regenerate over time, so it's very important that if you start picking up Thief, that you learn how to do initiative management first and foremost, in my opinion. Now, they are less powerful in durability as some other professions. They rely on stealth, evasion, surprise attacks. For the most part, this is very accurate. Thieves are very squishy because they have a lot of evasion and stealth as well. So you have a lot of different skill types. These are just the different utilities that you have. And then you also have the elite specializations, which are Daredevil and Deadeye. So overall, some of the weapons that you can use on Thief: you can use a rifle, you can use a short bow, a staff, a dagger, a pistol, a sword, an offhand dagger, a spear. So I think Thief is in a good spot with weapons. It's more or less the dagger is going to be, dagger and sword are generally what you see a lot of Thieves running, obviously because for the most part, those are the two power-based weapons. Pistol is a little bit as well, but I generally just see a lot more Thieves playing dagger and sword. Let's go ahead and go to meta battle. So one thing that I do like about Thief is the utilities that Thief have make it very, very versatile. You can create a function of a number of builds. Main ones being like a dagger pistol. Also condition. Thief is really strong. The one thing I've noticed is that whenever ArenaNet does try to nerf Thief in one way, shape, or form, because the trait lines are so good, the overall build concept doesn't really get nerfed, such as Condition Thief. They've been trying to rework Condition Thief for the longest time, and yet it still, I believe, has a place in today's PvP game mode and also World v World game mode. DPS Thief is really strong as well in fractals and open world, and Thief is probably one of my favorite classes to do map completion on because it does have a lot of mobility. Pretty much has perma swiftness as well, so whenever you're running around not on a mount doing your hearts, you are able to use your Thief if you want to be able to move around the map a lot quicker. Boon, Daredevil, and Power DPS are really good in raids, and Staff Daredevil is really good in World versus World, not only for roaming but also for small style encounter fights because you can do a lot of evade and also damage at the same time. Now, if you're into some sort of PvE, as I mentioned from the meta battle page, you can see Thief has really good strengths when looking at it in a raid form. Just from my personal experience and perspective, as well as looking at what Snowcrow believes, who is kind of the benchmark of what top tier raiding looks like. They have the Thief builds here written out, and it doesn't really look like Thief has a good place in the raids currently. It is standard. Power Daredevil is probably going to be your best bet if you want to join a raid group or a pug group. As you can see, it's very common in pugs. It's very easy to have a high level of DPS with this class as well, and also has great CC. Has a small learning curve because it's really, really easy. It's a simple rotation. So if you're looking to do raiding in Guild Wars 2 and you want a class that's really simple to use, it's going to get you to the in-game raiding content and will allow you to be picked up by a lot of pug groups. Thief is going to be, from what it looks like, a really good class to start off with. With regards to PvE, or PvP, I'm sorry, you see there I'm doing a stealth bomb. Thief is a little bit more difficult to play. It does have a higher learning curve in PvP from my personal experience and just watching a lot of my friends who play Thief. There is definitely a difference in skill level. You can't necessarily pick up this class and just generally be good at it if you're trying to play the meta build. Obviously, you can definitely do some damage if you're playing some sort of Condi meme build, but if you really want to get into some sort of competitive game mode in PvP, then I definitely think that this might not be the first class you should start off with because there are a lot of players who can virtually single target you, and if you run out of dodges or initiative, it's very easy to lock you down. So another thing that makes Thief really difficult in trying to learn how to play in PvP is that when playing Thief, you're not only there for damage. A lot of your gameplay revolves around map awareness, so you have to be the quickest to rotate, fastest to be aware of the map, and make sure that if you don't get locked, or if you get locked down, then you're kind of more of a liability to your team. You can't really sit on a node, so knowing when to leave is going to be also a good key factor when playing Thief. I'm not really the best Thief at all, in all honesty. I don't really play Thief too much, so take what I say just from the experience of players that I know who play Thief, such as a friend of mine, Edison, who is really one of the best Thieves in North America, from my opinion, in PvP at least. When I asked him the question of what would you give in terms of a tip, he would generally just tell me that if you want to learn how to play Thief, you're going to have to learn how to pretty much just die a lot and get killed because it's not easy, at least from his words. And so I take that with, you know, any sort of grain of salt. If you really, really want to get into Thief, if you love the lore of the class, and you believe this is the class for you, I'm not telling you not to play it at all whatsoever. I just believe that you have to be patient with it and get used to the fact that it does require a little bit more of a higher learning curve, specifically with regards to managing your initiative properly, and also knowing when to rotate, knowing when to switch from your main weapon set to your offhand weapon set, how to use your steal skill. Those kinds of things are very, very important. And if you want to know another thief to follow, as many of you may know, Sin Runner is a good example of this, as he has won multiple times and carried his team specifically on his thief class. And so at this point, I went on YouTube, found a YouTuber named Ezeki, I believe, just on Staff Thief, kind of showing you, I know his chat cover is a little big and it's a little movement, but showing you kind of how he's able to live, doing a lot of staff dodges. I see big damage coming out from him as well. And he's also managing a lot of his cooldowns well too, making sure that he at least is within range. So it brings me to another point. Distancing is very important when trying to play Staff Thief or Thief in general. You don't want to be right in line of where most of the damage is going to be. Try to hang around the edges. So another reason why, if you want to play Thief in other game modes such as PvP, and World versus World, I definitely would recommend starting out in PvP or PvE, learning a little bit of how to have some initiative management there. It's going to make it a lot easier for you whenever you decide to move into these other game modes. So yeah, guys, overall, I think, just to kind of summarize my points, if you're a new player coming into Guild Wars 2 and you find Thief very attractive, you want to play that class, then by all means, it's a very good class to pick up. If you're looking for PvE content specifically, you could use it as a starting class. That's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Gear is very simple. You're not going to require you to do a lot of other extra content to get the gear that you need. And then you can jump right into raids as whenever you see fit, or pug groups. They're not going to look at you and think that you can't be along there because you're a thief main. You'll actually be able to get into pugs quite easily, and your damage rotation will be easy. So very, very nice. A good way to get into the game, start learning the mechanics of bosses without having to require you to do a lot of different things. Now, if you're looking for PvP or World versus World, it might be better off to kind of wait a little bit until you get the understanding of what the role of a thief is. Thief's role hasn't really changed much, at least the meta thief in high competitive gameplay. You're still looking for decaps. You're still looking to do +1s. So you always want to make sure to help outnumber a team. And also you want to make sure to get some good kills there to execute people. Very, very difficult for an individual to figure out what is good to do until they have a good amount of practice and have been in that situation constant times over and over again. And then finally, if you're looking for World versus World, by all means, you can jump right in if you want. I just don't expect you to be looked at as a valuable asset if you're new to Thief and you want to start using that staff build. However, you can definitely go roaming on a Thief in any sort of build that you want. Condition Thief is really strong, so is Power Thief, and so that's pretty much what I'm going to leave you with. Stick around, there's going to be some huge announcement videos coming up in the future as well that I will let you guys know about. And until then, I will see you all in the next video.